Alright, guys, welcome to another edition of David Patrick's Reviews. Today we're going to have a look at Transformers Dark of the Moon Leader Class Optimus Prime. Right there. And this is the Dark of the Moon look. What I did is I took the one that they were going to use. And then this is the Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime. But this is the one I really love to get. This is the one I got. So here is his Autobot mode. I know you guys have his robot mode. But this is the Transformers Dark of the Moon Leader Class Optimus Prime. So let's take a look at the figure itself. Figure is very nice. You got Optimus Prime here when his new chest. If you guys remember in Revenge of the Fallen, this is the part where Optimus gets his new chest thing fixed. And then this is the way you can have it. And then let's try the Try Me features. And what I did on this Optimus Prime, I just put I put the 3D hands on him. I don't know if you guys can notice this. There's his hands. Here's his mode. This is what his robot mode looks like. But I really do like this Dark of the Moon Leader Class. I think this is the best in the line. I give this figure a 10 out of 10, and there you go. There's some likeness on him, and I switched out the head that they usually come in with the faceplate, but I decided to put the and I have the jetpack. It's in the other room, but I decided to review the figure by itself. I do not have the box or anything because I got this guy loose, and it's a pretty cool looking Transformers. I think when I get the chance, I'm probably going to review it when I get my new camera. Can't wait to get that new camera, but it's similar than the Revenge of the Fallen Optimus Prime, but this one is much more detail to the Revenge of the Fallen one, because on the Revenge of the Fallen one, when they were making this one, they decided, hey, let's do the remote of this. And then what they did is they changed it up a bit. They just changed it, and they changed up a few things on it. Instead of we have Dark of the Moon, and I really wish that they kept this after the next movie was Age of Extinction. Age of Extinction to me was okay, and Last Night, and I really wasn't a fan of the other two later movies with Mark Wahlberg. I like Mark Wahlberg as an actor, but his acting in there was good. The only problem I have is the what do you call it? Probably the worst part in Age of Extinction is probably the whole hunting the Autobots was a little disappointment, and I thought, why couldn't they just go back to the narrated of Optimus Prime again? Why couldn't they do that and just, I don't know, it's just that I just never cared for the Age of Extinction in the Last Night. I do like them, and if they had to keep one Optimus Prime, they should have kept this from Dark of the Moon and just I mean, this is the only Optimus Prime that I really wish that they kept from Dark of the Moon, because I think this Optimus is much serious than the one that they actually had in Age of Extinction and The Last Night. And I still miss the semi truck when they changed when they changed Optimus's look from the later fourth and fifth films. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about these other Optimus Prime looks, but semi truck Optimus will always be the best in the line. So 10 out of 10, I gave this figure a 10 out of 10, and there are three, or yes, there are, let's see, four different Optimus Prime or four Optimus Prime leader class figure looks. There's there's two of the Revenge of the Fallen. There's the regular, and there's the Buster Prime with the chrome. And then for the three leader class of Optimus, there's this one, and then there's the black one. I mean, there's so many other Optimus Primes, but I think this one is probably the much more movie accurate Optimus, because this guy transforms into the semi truck. I'm not going to transform this guy because it's really hard to, like, I don't know if I want to transform him or not, but I'm one of those guys that likes to keep him in robot mode, because if I transform him into his vehicle mode, and yes, this is gonna be my Michael Bay Transformers Dark of the Moon stop motion movie coming up when they get the anniversary of Dark of the Moon, and you guys will be surprised when I get that ready for my stop motion movie. You guys be ready to see it soon. Alright, final thoughts on this guy. I think this guy is incredible. Do not have the box for him because I got this guy loose. Let's take a little water sip. Actually, let's take a little sip. Alright, I think that's better, but Optimus Prime, played by Peter Cullen. Peter Cullen, played by Optimus Prime. And I still think this guy is much better than the Age of Extinction Prime. And also the Studio Series. I never understood the Studio Series Primes, but I still think that they need to go back with the Studio Series and just give us the original Transformers figures. The box art, the packaging and such, the artwork, the headshot, the expect, I mean, everything you imagine back in 2007 to 2011. But there you guys go. That was a look at Transformers Dark of the Moon Leader Class Optimus Prime. So, yes, it's not as spectacular as the OG Transformers, but this is an incredible leader class. I mean, it doesn't have any, like, I still think I like the Michael Bay and the animated a little bit more than the, and before I go, you cannot forget about Transformers Rise of the Beast movie, and also Bumblebee. I think I kind of like Rise of the Beast, but still, I really wish that they put the semi-truck on. They should have kept the semi-truck from the previous Dark of the Moon and just, like... But I think the worst part when it comes to the later movies, like Age of Extinction and The Last Night, the only problems I have with those movies is that they don't continue the movies that the previous three movie did, because like, I mean, if they did like in Transformers Age of Extinction, they opened up this whole movie with different cast. Michael Bay directed again, but this time they wanted new cast in it. They did not get Shia LaBeouf, Rosie, Josh, uh, Lennox or Sims. They did not get the guy in the wheelchair with his John Sector 7 dude. And then I'm trying to remember his name, but tell Megatron, let's tango. And then they did not get the parents back, and I kind of feel like Age of Extinction was like the least in the franchise, because like I like Kelsey Grammer as Stinky Pete in Toy Story 2 wise, but I thought his acting in Age of Extinction was a little strange, and I also like him in Frasier. I think those are the only two best Stinky Pete roles, but and let's see. Now, why do they hunt Optimus Prime in the first place? Why do they hunt the Autobots from Transformers Dark of the Moon to Age of Extinction? I don't know.
I'm just gonna check the light.
Okay. But like I said, there's only a few things I really wish that Michael Bay could have done in Age of Extinction. He could have kept Shia LaBeouf. He could have kept the cast from Transformers 3. But the only problem is, now, don't get me wrong, I still think that Transformers, the three older movies with Shia LaBeouf, are my favorite. I did not like the Age of Extinction and the Last Night. I thought they were too campy, too. I mean, like, from a Transformers point of view, like, Autobots and the Decepticons. That was Transformers about in the first three Michael Bay films. What the what what aggravated the crap out of me about part 4 was, okay, so let's talk about Optimus's team members that died. You had Ironhide and Q from Dark of the Moon. You had Ratchet, Leadfoot, Sideswipe, Optimus's team members. And now Optimus only mentions Ratchet one time, and that's about it. And then he goes to the nest that they build Galvatron and the others, and Optimus tells the one guy, "We're not your property. They were my friends." And I mean, look, just I don't know what they were thinking with that whole scene. And then we got some new Autobots. We got Hound, Drift, Squeak, or no wait, Hound, Drift, Crosshairs, Optimus, and Bumblebee are back. And then you got new Decepticons. You got Lockdown, Galvatron. I mean, not to be honest with the animated Lockdown, but I will love him to do the Bounty Hunter Lockdown. I really wish we had that Lockdown from Revenge of the Fallen Lockdown toy. Put him in Age of Extinction, and then you could keep the Dark of the Moon Optimus. Oh man, that would have been a better movie. Like, man, I mean, that would be incredible to see. Like, and like, then we get the final Lockdown look, and I'm just not the biggest fan of Lockdown's look in Age of Extinction because I think he was like when he killed Ratchet in that I can't remember what scene it was in Age of Extinction, but it's the one where the guy says I lost a sister in Chicago. And then when Ratchet dies, it kind of feels like animated right there, like Transformers animated, like Ratchet and Lockdown. They're from Cybertron. And we do not get to hear, we did not see them again until later in the movie. Ratchet was probably the only one that got killed, and then whoop, his head in that company that Kelsey Grammer was working at, and the other guy I can't remember his name, but yeah, I think that was kind of. And then what also bugged me about the fourth Transformers movie is that I still think that they could have got rid of the whole like, oh, we're gonna hunt down Optimus Prime and such, like these Autobots fought for you in the War of Chicago, and now you're gonna hunt hunt Optimus Prime. Now, why would they hunt Optimus Prime in the first place? I don't know, folks. It's just that okay. The only thing I'm gonna care for is the three with Shia LaBeouf. And don't get me wrong, I like Mark Wahlberg in the movie, but when they did Optimus's new look, I'm just like, not the fan of the new Optimus Prime Age of Extinction, but Dark of the Moon will always be the better one. But I still like his Robot Moon in Dark of the Moon and Revenge of the Fallen in the '07 movie, but the only problem is Lockdown's design. But I really wish that they kept the Dark of the Moon Optimus. They should have kept Bumblebee in his Camaro, but I really wasn't a fan of the new characters in the movie. Like, I know I like John Goodman. I liked his Hound. I liked Drift, Crosshairs. But like it keeps like going like human and Autobot like in the press in the past three Transformers movies we had a human, a Autobot, and then goes back and forth. But the only problem I have with the and let me be honest with you guys, any of you guys of Transformers fans out there around the world, a round of Transformers ontology fans, critics, let me know. Do you guys miss Peter Collins' narration as Optimus Prime when he like at the end, but you don't hear the Peter Cullen narrate in the beginning of part 4 and 5? I think that's the only thing I didn't really is that in the first three you hear Optimus Prime's narrated voice narrated like Earth, we like before time began there was the cube. In the 2007 movie, that line, and then in Revenge of the Fallen, Earth. Earth rage of the human race. And then Dark of the Moon, you got the opening was Cybertron. And then you get these other two open up with the Transformers Age of Extinction. And the only thing I didn't really like about part 4 and 5 is just that they don't do the old Transformers movie title logo that the other three did, like the. So if I did my Dark of the Moon movie one day, if I could say if I'm gonna get my new camera, but when I get the characters I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the what I could have been the better Age of Extinction in the last night is using the same audio, but this time we're gonna take the Optimus Prime audio and then put the. I think that would have been a good idea, and then put Lockdown and this Optimus together fight, and voila, you got a better Dark of the Moon, or a better Age of Extinction, I should say. But Age of Extinction is not my most favorite in the franchise. I still like Dark of the Moon, '07, and Revenge of the Fallen. I know like every single Transformers movies they have to have different main characters. What the problem with Age of Extinction is that they don't really focus on the Autobots. Later we see Bumblebee, Hound, Drift, and Crosshairs. But Optimus Prime, he is probably the only Autobot in the movie that Cade finds in that. I can't remember what place it was, but there you go. And then I really like to see different versions of like all three of the Transformers movies. I would love them to do like a director's cut of all three of the Michael Bay Transformers, like what they did with Hellboy, for example. But that's my rant on the. That was my review and rant on the Leader Class Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime, and then the. So, my final thoughts on the Dark of the Moon figure. I think it's incredible, and I really wish that they did this when they were like making. But I still think that this is a better Optimus Prime than the Age of Extinction and the Last Night Prime, but we'll see what they're gonna do in the next Transformers movie. Oh, before I go, let's talk about Rise of the Beast, for example. Rise of the Beast, same way. The Optimus Prime kind of felt like the Optimus Prime that we got in Rise of the Beast. Not as close as the semi truck in Dark of the Moon, but I still think that this would be better if they kept this Optimus and used him in 4 and Rise of the Beast. Or what they could have done is had like 2 Optimus Primes, 2 Bumblebees, like each one, like each one, each one could like. And yes, I know you guys are gonna say like, if they use 2, then which one are the men from Age of Extinction gonna hunt? Are they gonna hunt the Dark of the Moon, or are they gonna hunt the Age of Extinction Optimus? I think that's what they should have called them. Dark of the Moon Autobots. Age of Extinction Autobots. But, yes, guys, that's my Transformers Dark of the Moon, and when I get my actual movie review on the actual movie, when I do my stop motion movie of Dark of the Moon, I'm definitely going to review all 3 of the Michael Bay Transformers, and then I'm going to talk about Rise of the Beast, Age of Extinction, Last Night, Bumblebee, and that's pretty much it. And we don't know if they're going to make another Transformers in the near future. Let's hope. Let's hope we get Ultra Magnus, Oil Slick Striker, in Michael Bay's universe of Transformers. Like, but we need we need more Decepticons in the next Transformers movie. I mean, take Transformers Last Night for example. They brought back Megatron and they brought back Barricade. And what's incredible about Transformers Last Night, and I'm gonna be harsh on this, but Megatron, I think the only thing I didn't really like about the Last Night is just that they put turn Optimus into Nemesis Prime. But I really wish that they kept. I really wish that they could done this at their. But whatever happened to the daughter of Katie Yeager? Like, did she graduated or what about her and her boyfriend? Like, we don't know what happened to him, but who knows? All right, guys, that's my rant on the Optimus Prime leader class and the live action movies. So thank you guys for watching this. See you guys next time. Peace. Bye. I'll see you guys. I'm gonna do more reviews. So thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Peace.